Hello everyone. My name is Cameron Awan, co-founder of iOB Business. Welcome to the first in a series of live webinars we will be hosting every 2 weeks, with today's session titled, Why Do Businesses Need a Digital Presence? Your presenters for today's webinar are myself and our resident business coach, Ben Porter-Smith. Hi Ben, how are you?
Hi Cameron, doing very well, thanks.
Fantastic. Now, a quick introduction about myself before we get started. I'm a digital marketing professional with over 10 years experience in digital marketing and franchising. My passion is helping people just like you launch, grow, and scale their own businesses all over the world. I'll now hand over to Ben.
Thank you very much, Cameron. Yes, so as Cameron says, this is a wonderful webinar that we have to present with you today. Just a little bit about myself before we dive in. My name is Ben, and I am a professional business coach. I specialize in working with small businesses and startups, and helping them establish consistency, stability, growth, and what I ultimately call business safety. Really, really awesome concept and something that really helps stabilize small businesses today. So the way we're going to run this webinar today is I'm going to switch off the camera in just a second. We're going to dive into the presentation that I have for you today. And what we're going to do is just do a quick sound test, a quick visual test. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can see me okay. I don't want anybody to miss out on any of the content that we have lined up today. And finally, if you have any questions for us throughout the presentation, please do drop them in the Q&A box because we will get to them, but we'll focus on that right at the end of the presentation. So any questions that you have, anything that you pick up on, just take a note of them, pop them in the Q&A box, and we'll be sure to get to them at the end. So thank you very much. I'm just going to have a very quick chat now to see if we can hear me okay, see if we can see me okay, and then we're going to dive in. So it looks as though everyone can see me okay, everyone can hear me okay, which is fantastic. So now you know a little bit about Cameron, you know a little bit about myself. I want to run you through the things that we're going to be talking about today, okay? So with today's presentation, really the salient point we're going to talk about is why businesses are going online, okay? What is causing this driving force now that is forcing us and many other business owners to have to adapt and become an online entity? We're going to talk about businesses with areas that are struggling right now, okay? Where are the pockets? Where are the areas that potentially are not being picked up, or something that they're having lots of difficulty getting their teeth sunk into and developing now? And finally, we're going to run over some really, really cool things to just sort of elaborate a little bit on the power of online. Okay, so today's presentation very much focused around why do businesses need the digital presence and why are they going online. Okay, so topic number one. Okay, more and more businesses are moving online to continue delivering to their customers as well as reaching new ones. Now, why is this relevant? Okay, because let me just give you a very brief example of businesses that move online. Okay, we're looking at cafes, coffee shops, restaurants, bars, bricks and mortar stores that are now moving online to continue delivering to their customers. Okay, so with everything that's going on right now, we have COVID-19. Okay, it's a national and global situation that we're all dealing with, something that we've never dealt with before. Okay, so really now, how do we begin to adapt to this? How do we change to this? How do we make sure that business can continue stability, consistency, safety? How do we continue to sustain this with everything that's going on? Okay, so the obvious move there is to move online, continue delivering to our current customer base. Okay, make sure that they know that we're here, we're there to look after them, we're there to keep delivering the products and services that they know and love. Okay, so more and more businesses are moving online to continue delivering to their customers. Okay, now the other point of this is that they're going to have the added bonus of developing a new customer base. They're going to be reaching out and talking to new people, okay? So people who may not love going into cafes, bars, restaurants, shops, but love the products that they offer, okay? So some people don't like busy environments. Some people simply don't like leaving the house, especially with everything that's going on. It's more than understandable that people may not want to leave the house unless they absolutely have to. So what does this business being online now enable these people to do? Well, it allows them to get a hold of and enjoy the benefit of these products that the businesses are offering. So these businesses may well find that not only are they now going online to continue delivering to their current customer base, they may now also be delivering into a brand new customer base as well. So really, really exciting stuff, okay? Now, to point out the obvious, of course, with COVID is that lockdowns are forcing local closures, Okay, so wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the UK, I'm in Scotland, you might be in England, you might be in Wales, Northern Ireland, you could be even further abroad. But I can say with almost absolute certainty that at some point or other, you will have experienced the same as everyone else. You will have seen local lockdowns, you will have seen and absorbed the impact that COVID is having on local businesses, okay? So to state the obvious, once again, lockdowns are forcing local closures and businesses need a way of maintaining sales, okay? So another big reason that businesses are going online right now, as well as an all-time, we're going to discuss a lot of that, but specifically right now, businesses are literally being forced to close their doors. So their only means of survival, the only means of continually bringing money in, keeping their lights on in the house, keeping a roof over their head, looking after their families, is to move online and maintaining their sales, okay? If they simply were to accept the fact that, okay, we have to close, we can't go anywhere, we can't progress, it could be detrimental to them and detrimental to many other small business owners out there, okay? So lockdowns are forcing the closures and businesses are now being forced to go online, okay? The added benefit of this, however, there are far less point of sale barriers, making it easier for potential customers to get in touch and buy, okay? Now, what I mean by this is if you look at a point of sale, it's when somebody purchases your product, okay? So point of sale is when a service or product is sold. Therefore, the barriers included in that could be so many. You know, we can talk about so many, but the biggest ones are that now the customer doesn't have to leave the house. They don't have to be social if they don't enjoy being social. They don't have to push themselves out of their comfort zone if they don't want to be pushed out of it, okay? So removing the point of sale barriers, making it easier for potential customers to get in touch and buy, okay? Now, whether we're talking Facebook, websites, food ordering systems, apps, any number of ways in which customers can now purchase with barriers that were previously stopping them from coming in. If they were shy from seeing other people, if they physically just didn't want to get up and leave the house. You know, I know that all of us have been in that situation where there's been something that we want, desire, even myself personally, I can't tell you how many times I've said, I wish that this was delivered. I wish that this was easier for me to get a hold of, okay? Now, what these businesses need to recognize and what you can help them recognize is that having less point of sale barriers is actually an enormous benefit, okay? Because it's making potential customers, people that were potentially never even customers before, or never even thought about shopping or buying any services or products from them, are now seriously considering this because of how much easier it is. So having less barriers from a point of sale point of view makes it easier for potential customers to get in touch with them and buy, okay? Now, this is a really exciting one, a really cool one that I'd like to run through with you today. Product lines, okay? The forced hand of creativity increasing product lines. Now, when I say forced hand, of course, I'm stating back to the obvious again that COVID is forcing local closures, okay? So now we're being forced to do things that we've never done before, okay? Now, product lines are a service or product or something that can be bought, purchased in any shape or form, okay? So a product line is simply whatever that item is that's being sold and the transaction is happening between you and the customer. That could be one of your many product lines or perhaps your only product line, okay? Now, the forced hand of creativity here. The biggest example I love using for this kind of thing is if we're looking at product lines, okay? And I like to take coffee shops in, for example, here, okay? So we take your local coffee shop. Now, you may sort of look at them and think, okay, well, they're lovely. They've got a nice, humble, warm setting. They offer the standard basics of lattes, cappuccinos, Americanos, just your basic, everyday, regular coffee. But people go there because they love the atmosphere and they love the people, okay? And then we take Starbucks just around the corner, okay? Now, if you've ever been to a Starbucks, you'll know that they have every frappuccino, cappuccino, latte, super latte, pumpkin spice, everything you could possibly imagine and all the sweet treats in the land, okay? That's Starbucks, right? Now, they're obviously an enormous competitor. They operate both online and in bricks and mortar stores. So if there's a coffee shop over on the other side, okay, now all of a sudden both doors are closed. However, Starbucks still has the opportunity to deliver online through various apps, through their own website, however they're doing it, okay? Now, all of a sudden, the main benefit of being a sole coffee shop with a lovely warm atmosphere has just disappeared. People don't go there for the coffee, they go there for the atmosphere. If the atmosphere is removed, what else have they got to rely on? What is their unique selling point now? So again, I circle back to the forced hand of creativity increasing product lines. Because Starbucks offering everything under the sun, they're going to overtake people who don't offer what they offer. So now as a regular coffee shop that maybe we just offer an Americano, a latte, and a cappuccino, maybe now all of a sudden we're bringing in spice lattes, flavored lattes. We're offering sweet bakes, cakes, treats, homemade. We're putting our unique selling point on that. We're increasing and expanding our product lines. We don't just sell coffee anymore. We do iced teas, we do iced lattes, we do cinnamon buns, we do whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But the example is the salient point here, that businesses who have never been forced to do anything, they've never been forced to move their hand and be creative and enjoy that productivity and creativity more so, because they have never ever been in a situation like this before. And no modern day business owner has ever seen anything like this. And this is a new experience for all of us, but some businesses are moving through it and remaining strong and even growing. And others who do not have the right information, are not loaded with the right education, are now beginning to struggle, okay? So the final benefit, of course, of this is eliminating expensive overheads, leaving room for increased profit and additional support. Okay, now put in agencies in bracket there, okay? Because this is something that I really need to drive home, okay? So if you imagine, we've got, if I reference back again to our nice, lovely bricks and mortar coffee shop, okay? You imagine they've got rent to pay, they've got business rates to pay, they've got utilities, they've got every expensive overhead that comes along with everything that they're doing, okay? Now, this could apply for anything, anywhere, anyhow, okay? Any business that has massive overheads that is now moving online. And for the purposes of this example, I would like to take this exact point here, eliminating expensive overheads, moving online, therefore eliminating the overheads, okay? So what does this do? If you approach the coffee shop with either your marketing agency or any form of online marketing offering beforehand, say a year ago, before the pandemic was really a situation, okay? You approach them in a coffee shop and you go into them and you say, okay, I think I can do XYZ marketing services for you. What do you think? Okay, now they're gonna give you probably one of two answers at this point. Number one, we don't have enough money. Fair enough. Okay, you haven't got enough space in the budget because you're busy paying rent, you're busy paying gas, utilities, you know, you name it, okay? The next thing they're probably gonna say is, well, why? Why would I need your marketing services when I have plenty of customers coming through my door? You say, okay, well, valid point. So now that those doors have closed, what's happened? There's an increase in demand. We need more customers. We need more people buying our stuff. So we're talking about expanding product lines, okay? That's aligning with a competitor and becoming competitive and even potentially overtaking your competitor. But if we circle back around to the point that they have now lost their main customer base, they have lost their main marketing source of traffic, it's gone completely. So what does that do? It creates a demand for online marketing and digital agencies, okay? They are the people that know marketing. These are the people that know how to bring custom to these businesses. And this is especially relevant for anybody who's in any way interested in running a marketing agency, okay? Because if you are armed with this information, you can get very, very far in client meetings. Now, the other thing that we discussed with not having enough money, okay? So what's happened now that all of these expenses have been eliminated? Well, they've got more net profit, okay? Because if they can utilize that net profit because they're online with you, then they have more money to spend on agencies. They've got more money in the budget. So now not only has the net profit opened up, they've also got an additional demand for marketing agencies and online services. Okay, so really, really massively crucial point to drive home there. Okay, so we're just about finishes this little slide here with why our business is going online. I hope that it all makes sense. Okay, now it is something that is so important that I iterate just now is that this whole concept of businesses moving online is happening in a trend. Okay, so we're not only talking about what's happening with COVID and the pandemic, we're looking at businesses moving online as a whole. For every reason I've discussed in this slide, taking into account the reduced overheads. Okay, of course, running online is far cheaper, wider customer bases, bigger, more expansive product lines, all of the benefits that can tie into this. Okay, so if I'll leave you with that final point, just for this slide, if you do have any questions, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, please do drop them in the Q&A box and I will get with them at the end and be more than happy to run through those for you. The next thing that we're going to talk about is areas that businesses are struggling with right now, okay? So, number one, online review systems, okay? Now this is such a big one because reviews are a massive credibility builder for you. If you are a prospective or current business owner, having credibility, having reviews, testimonials about your services and products, you know, how often do you go to buy something online? Even if we're looking at very simple, basic examples of your local coffee shop, or we're looking at somewhere like Amazon, right? It's a Goliath. The first thing you do when you see a product is you look at the review to check that it's a viable product, okay? Especially if it seems too good to be true. Reviews are used all over the place, all the time, to build credibility around businesses, you know, and help assist potential buyers. So that's a really important one to bear in mind. Okay, next, efficient ordering systems, especially for food. Okay, now I know that what you're probably going through your mind just now is you're thinking about, okay, well, efficient food ordering systems, yeah, sure. So we're talking food, we're talking Just Eat, right? We're talking Deliveroo, all the big ones. Yeah, sure. Okay. So with these efficient food ordering systems, as wonderful as they are expensive. They charge huge amounts of money to the business on commission. Okay. So not only are they shaving their profit lines, they're also diving into a very competitive field. So if you're using Just Eat, Deliveroo, whatever, we've got that whole prospect there of, well, actually, I'm diving in with loads of other competitors. So now I might not even get picked for the added bonus of having to pay enormous, monstrous commissions when I do get picked, okay? So when I say efficient food ordering systems, I mean ones for them, ones who run their own business with their own food ordering system. And therefore, if they can market this efficiently, which again comes down to being an online marketing agency owner and offering this to the restaurant or cafe or whoever you're looking at offering it to, this efficient ordering system will have zero competition, unless you're talking about PPC and all the other things. But I don't, for the sake of not diving down a rabbit hole, I would like to look at this efficient ordering system and understanding the gravity of having your own efficient system. Okay, very, very powerful stuff. Even in my local area, lots of businesses are now developing their own systems as to not compete with the others. Okay, now website development, this is a huge one. The business, the cafes, the restaurants, the bars, even bricks and mortar shops like your local hardware store, if they have a website at all, it's very likely to be extraordinarily out of date. Because if you think it's been a long time since anybody's had to go online, it's been a long time before anybody's had to do anything like this, okay? So like I said, I referenced back to hands being forced, creativity, increasing product lines. Now with all of that being taken into account, if they do have a website at all, which they will definitely need in some form or capacity to move online, if they do even have one, it's likely to be extraordinarily out of date. Now, if there's one thing that I know for a fact about modern consumers, with all my experience in online marketing and business coaching, is that they do not like to use things that do not keep up to date with their expectations. Okay, so your modern consumer likes things to be fast, quick, easy to use, visually pleasing. All of the things that an out of date website will not be. They may not be safe to use. They may not have the correct safety certificates. Everything around an out of date website that would just make you not really want to use it, along with being clunky, not really describing their products very well. So again, this opens the door massively for agency owners to dive in and plug these holes, okay? Now, this is exactly what I want to talk to you about. Areas that businesses are struggling with right now: online review systems, efficient ordering systems, especially for food, website development, out-of-date websites, if they even are there in the first place, okay? Marketing agency owners are stepping in to plug these holes right now, okay? It's an enormous opportunity. So the point I would like to finish up with you on today, okay, is the power of online. So the very first thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that at the start of 2020, there were 5.94 million small businesses, okay, in the UK. This is enormous. Now, the stats are from fsb.org.uk, and what they're referencing as a small business is 0 to 49 employees, okay? Now, whether that number has increased, decreased, besides the point, okay? New businesses are coming into play all the time, and old businesses are going out of play all the time. But the point is, at the start of 2020, there were 5.94 million small businesses. And what I want this to outline, and the reason I'm telling you this today, is because there is no shortage of demand for marketing services. Okay, there is no shortage of demand for businesses who are looking to offer their marketing services to these small businesses. Now, the biggest thing that I would like to share with you, and on this exact point, okay, there have been so many times when I've heard, as a business coach, I've heard clients and colleagues of clients and clients of clients say, I have these amazing products and I have these amazing services, but there is nobody there to buy them. Now, I can tell you for a fact, this statistic aside, it's always been in my experience that is absolutely not true. If you have a valuable product or service, something you can offer to someone to make a change, you're providing the solution to a problem that they are having. If you can do this, you absolutely will find custom, and you may even be very successful from it. Okay, now success is determined off of their own back. Okay, nobody can determine somebody else's success, but it's not to say that the opportunity is not there, okay? So the first thing I want to share with you on the power of online, Just Eat, okay? They operate in 13 countries worldwide. They do over 100,000 deliveries per day, and they have had over $30 million in orders since their launch. Okay, so I want you to just think about this for a second. And I know you might be thinking, well, Ben, that's all very good and well. Just Eat or a Goliath, massive corporation, and they're just swallowing up all the other kind of food delivery services and things like that. Okay, now I would fully understand if that's what you were thinking right now. I would fully understand why you believe that not everybody can do this because it's Just Eat and they're exceptional and this and that, and fully understand the reasoning behind that. But the one point I want to drive home with you today is that Just Eat is not, as far as businesses go, a very old business. They took advantage of an opportunity that they saw now, and they have grown and grown and grown. Now, this is a result of success, hard work, being in the right place at the right time, utilizing their niche, all of the things that can happen now for online businesses. If marketing agency owners can understand the actual gravity of what is happening right now with small businesses having a desire and a necessity to move online, there's absolutely no reason why they can't accelerate. Now, it's estimated that Just Eat have earned £312 million in turnover per year. Okay, in the most recent statistics, this is from londonlovesbusiness.com. Now, what this says about small businesses and Goliath corporations is that they do have one thing in common. Okay, they are solving a problem. They are understanding the necessities of the target market, and they are delivering the solution. Okay, very, very, very powerful stuff. The next thing I would like to share with you, Trustpilot. Okay, the #1 review system in the UK. As far as I understand, this is the #1. Okay, and I can see why. Now, Trustpilot, if you're not familiar with it, what they do is they provide review systems for businesses. So they themselves are a review system, and users, interactors, shoppers, customers will go on to Trustpilot, and they will review a local business. Now, that local business can claim the business listing on Trustpilot as their own. And really reviews and credibility, testimonials, and everything to do around this sort of little area really does have the power to accelerate or deflate your business. And now what I mean by this is reviews are an enormous credibility builder. And again, Trustpilot knew this. They knew that if they could give the end user exactly what they wanted, which is ultimately the customer, to understand, is a business solid? Is it credible? Is it viable for me to buy from this place without being scammed, ripped off, anything bad happening? That is what Trustpilot solves. They stop people from making mistakes, and they encourage people to shop with the businesses that are doing well. Okay. Now, not every business on Trustpilot is perfect, and that's what it's there for. But the big businesses or the small businesses, doesn't matter. If they are successful, they will be able to utilize Trustpilot for their own success. Okay. So again, we're coming on to online review systems. Now, Trustpilot have had 100 million reviews. This is from over 400,000 businesses reviewed and 2.6 million reviews submitted monthly. Okay, astronomical amount of data. And this is straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, this is straight from the web address is uk.business.trustpilot.com. This is actually on Trustpilot's website. Okay, and again, they are a Goliath corporation now, but they were not always that way. They saw an opportunity in the market and they expanded on it. They developed on it. Okay. So that concludes the presentation with us today. Now, as much as I would love to talk, you can probably tell by the tone of my voice, I love talking about this stuff and could do all day. As much as I would love to do that, I value your time. So I would like to offer you a gift. A complimentary one-to-one consultation with Kamran, founder of iOB Business, co-founder. Learn about how you can move to the forefront of helping business owners develop an online presence. Okay, really, really powerful stuff. Kamran is a wonderful man to know. He's so full of knowledge. I have worked with him for a while, and we have made enormous educational revelations together. Very, very, very good guy to know. Ask burning questions around business development and what it means to be a modern day business owner. Okay, now this is one of the biggest things that I get as a business coach, what Kamran probably gets often as well, as co-founder of iOB Business, is burning questions that what does it actually mean to be a business owner in the modern day? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop a link into the chat box. You can make use of that just now. You can go and visit this link, iob-business.com/talk to us. Now, this should be arriving in your chat box for you just now to take advantage of this. Now, any questions that you do have for me, I've got a couple here already. Thank you so much. What I'm going to do just for a little while is leave this screen up for you so that you can book your conversation with Kamran, and I'm going to begin covering the questions that I have, okay? So I've got 2 questions in front of me. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you more for your time and commitment to be here with us today. It's been really, really wonderful speaking with you. I hope that the content within this presentation was valuable for yourselves. So my questions are, number 1, how will I know where businesses are struggling? Okay, so I believe this is referencing back to the areas that I was noting the businesses were struggling in. Okay, so how will I know where these businesses are struggling? Well, I always circle back around to the same answer with this kind of thing. And what I will share with you is that I learn the most from a person, a prospective client, a friend, when I'm just listening to them. Okay, so what I like to do when anybody wants to work with me in any capacity, I will offer a free consultation to hear their problems. I suggest all my clients do the same. And this is a massively strong business tool that you can use. Offer a free consultation, a free audit, a free problem solving session, however you would like to position that. Listen to what they have to say, okay? Listen intently and you will find the areas that they are struggling with. And if you can plug those gaps, you will then be providing the solution to the problem. Okay, so I hope that answers that one. Thank you so much for asking. And the next question I have, why would they believe that it will help them if they move online? Okay, that's a fantastic question as well. Okay, so yeah, okay, you as the agency or I as the presenter on this webinar, all these things that I'm saying about, you know, businesses going online, why they're moving online and how will it be beneficial? Well, to state the obvious here, the best way that you can show is by showing something that's already been done. Okay, so we'd like to reference case studies, testimonials, reviews, other businesses that are doing this exact thing, other businesses that can speak to the power of what you are offering, okay? So if you were to approach a cafe, restaurant, you know, bar, pub, coffee shop, however you decided to do it, and you wanted to kind of move into this segment and say, okay, well, this is what I would like you to do. And they say, well, how do I know that this really works? You say, okay, well, I'd like you to speak to one of my other clients, or I'd like to show you a case study. And they can show you from firsthand experience how well all of this is going for them, okay? How effective it is for them. So I think that is my end of questions. Let me just double check. I'm just gonna have another little look, check that we've covered everything. Perfect. Okay, looks like we have done. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this presentation here today. I hope that it was valuable. I sincerely hope to speak with you again in the very near future. Been a pleasure. Bye for now.